Hi, and welcome to another edition of Property TV. This week we're down at BG's Way on the Redcliffe foreshore, where the opening by Barry Gibb took place just a little over a month ago. Also in today's program we have Richard Lancaster, the Redcliffe Culture Vulture, to have a chat about all things in relation to the arts on the Redcliffe Peninsula and also the launch of his new book. But before we go to that, here's Kevin Turner with the very latest in property news.
Thank you. Well, ASIC is considering increasing its powers to include oversight of property investment schemes that recommend self-managed superannuation funds ahead of its report on property spruikers, which is due out in April. Currently, ASIC has no responsibility for oversight of direct property investment, which is totally unregulated. Late last year, ASIC said it was undertaking limited surveillance of financial advisors and accountants over concerns that property spruikers are encouraging investors to set up self-managed superannuation funds purely as vehicles for dodgy property investments. It's only about 15% of the industry that doesn't operate under any controls, mainly because they're not under the umbrella of a bank or other regulated entity. Good news now for those property owners who were flooded in 2011 or earlier this year. Australian Property Investor magazine report that valuers are reducing the risk rating on flooded properties in some areas from 4 down to 3, which will impact values and make borrowing on these properties much easier. And finally, it was good to see a number of lenders have reduced their variable rates out of cycle with the RBA. While there have been several rate increases out of the cycle, we've never seen lenders drop variable home loan rates while the cash rate remains stable. Since the government announced banking reforms in December 2010 to boost competition, smaller banks have captured an estimated $21 billion in home lending business from the big banks. There's no doubt this is certainly going to add to that total.
Good morning and welcome to the show. I'm Kevin Turner. We're here to talk real estate.
Whether you're following the property market or just interested in what's going on, Australasia's #1 independent real estate advisor Kevin Turner has the answers. Every Saturday 8 to 9 on 4BC.
And guys, a huge welcome to Richard Lancaster, the local culture vulture, and we appreciate you having us a few minutes on our show today. Mate, now we're sitting down here at BG's Way at Redcliffe, and mate, I know that we've often spoke about it, and you had an integral part in the initiation of what's eventuated here today. Could you tell everyone about that?
Really, this was the start of how 5 years ago I became involved with the initiative to get recognition for Redcliffe's connection with the Bee Gees, and that was the whole idea behind it. We commenced by approaching the Bee Gees. My dear friend Leslie, who's the sister of the Bee Gees, we spoke with her and suggested we have a musical academy here. She loved it. The boys, of course, Robin was still alive then, the boys loved it, and from there on in, of course, it took off. This was in 2009. The council were very excited about the idea, and we had meetings with them, and Alan Sutherland, the then mayor, the mayor of the Moreton Bay Regional Council, was very supportive, as was all the councillors as well. He suggested I put a proposal in because what we wanted was a premises to locate the academy in. So we did that, we put the proposal in, but then it all went quiet and we didn't hear much at all. In fact, we heard nothing at all. I attempted to speak with the council, and but I didn't really get anywhere with that at all. And I became very frustrated because at that stage I'd organised for Barry and Robin to come out here in 2010 to perform at a fundraiser to launch the whole idea of the academy, and they were very prepared to do that.
I remember you chatting to me about that back then.
Yep. Anyway, to cut a long story short, no response, so we decided then, or I decided, that I'd speak to the media and let them know that this was on, because I couldn't get any response from council. And the next thing is a small article appeared in the Sunday Mail, which then went worldwide with the heading, "Redcliffe doesn't want the Bee Gees," which caused great consternation both to me, the mayor, and of course to Barry and Robin as well. They didn't like it either. But that's what you, I guess that's the chance you run when you run with the media. So that went, and that really bubbled away, and I was most concerned, and of course that sadly alienated my relationship with council even further.
Yeah.
It died a natural death. The academy never was on, obviously enough. About 2 years later, the mayor approached me and said, look, there's enough water gone under the bridge, let's have a talk and see what we can do about regenerating the Bee Gees with Redcliffe again. And I said, what a great idea. You call me and we'll have a meeting. Sadly, the meeting never occurred. The next thing I see on television was that he was over in Florida sitting with Barry. People have said to me, that's very sad, you know, you got no credit out of it and all the rest of it. I was never, and neither was the board who worked with me on the original project, ever in the business of getting credit. It was credit for Redcliffe we wanted,
Yeah.
and it's now what we've got.
Yeah.
So my congratulations to council, and I sincerely mean that, for putting up this wonderful promotion for Redcliffe. I mean, this morning I was sitting waiting for you before we did the interview, and there were crowds. I mean, we're now nearly a month hence since Barry opened it, and the crowds are still coming down.
We can see everyone behind us now, having a good look at everything. But
absolutely,
I think the recognition that I think you deserve is still going to come out, and I know that a lot of other people know the initial interest that you generated has played a big part in what's developed here today. And mate, we do thank you very much for it.
Well, thank you very much indeed for that wonderful comment. I don't think I deserve it because I really did nothing other than to obviously enough light the fuse. That's what I wanted to do. And we got it lit, and this is the result. And I think we should be all very proud of what we've got.
I think it's a great icon for the Redcliffe area to have. And now on another matter, you've told me recently that you've just put the finishing touches on your book.
Yes, indeed. It's my first book, under my own name, that is. And of course it's a baker's dozen plus 2, and it's I think a rather handsome copy.
Yeah. A good bloke with a good hairline on the front.
Yeah, that's not me. That actually is Kelvin Hawley, one of the artists.
Yep.
And in fact, this book is not only hopefully of interest to readers, but I included, as I always want to do, because my business is promoting the arts in Redcliffe, I gave one each of the 15 stories to an artist, and they took them away and read them and then interpreted them in the book. So we've now got, and these are the images from all of the artists, so we've got 15 artists' work as well.
Yeah.
So you don't only buy my work, you actually buy work of the artists as well.
Very good.
Which is great.
I know that Kelvin has recently done some artwork with the Australian bushranger of today, Brandon Chopper Reid. So I know he's promoted some work with him.
Indeed, dear Chopper came up on my behest largely due to a great friend of mine, Mark, who's his bodyguard, and Mark
the Hammer Dixon.
Mark the Hammer Dixon, that's the man. And Mark got Chopper to come up, and we had Chopper up for a month.
Yeah.
He painted a number of paintings, and we had 2 very successful gallery exhibitions. You were at one.
Yeah.
That's right. Yes, you were too. And it was most enjoyable. This is what we need to do, Andrew, and we're already starting to achieve it. We're getting a great groundswell of support and a profile of Redcliffe being the arts capital of southeast Queensland, and that's what we want to make it happen.
No, with someone as passionate as yourself driving it, I'm sure that it'll definitely continue to grow. But I really appreciate you having a chat to us today.
Thank you.
And in relation to your book, where can someone get hold of it?
Fantastic. Well, firstly, we've got to launch it. You're actually getting you and your friends viewing are getting a preview of this book. It hasn't actually been launched yet.
Okay.
So it's going to be launched on April the 5th in the Seaside Artists Gallery, upstairs in Commonos Arcade in Redcliffe. And of course it's being launched by my dear friend William McInnes, the actor and author. So I'm very privileged to have him doing it as well. So there it is, friends, a fantastic book. Buy it.
A huge thank you to Richard for having a chat to us today, and now to this month's feature property.
The superb 15-year-old quality-built home will have you amazed from the moment you enter. Tiled throughout, it comes complete with both formal and informal living and dining areas. The supersized kitchen separates the two with an abundance of pantry and cupboard space. Spacious bedrooms complete with built-ins and ceiling fans. Master coming complete with ensuite and walk-in row. Enjoy entertaining all year round with the spacious undercover patio area, which overlooks the private, fully fenced yard.
Well guys, what a fantastic property out at Tuckaroo Street at Rothwell. And for any viewings, please give us a call on 3883 9999. And for any other real estate needs, visit our website, redcliffe.com.au, drop into the office anytime, or call us on 3883 9999. Until next time, bye for now.